right. Oh, let's hit that button. Wait, I wanted to add. Why is it not showing? Oh, I've done something wrong. Here we go. There it is. There we are. We're in. All right.
Hi.
Wonderful day.
Hi,
How are
everybody.
you? How are you?
Great. I'm fabulous. I'm happy to be here again. It's going to be
Fantastic.
fantastic. Yeah.
Today's going to be good. What are we going to
Yeah.
talk about today?
Right. So, hi, everyone. In case you haven't seen the previous live streams or you don't know who I am, my name is Edelveis. I'm a developer advocate at Bellsoft. We provide the most complete Java experience in a way that we provide solutions and tools that aim to facilitate the development and deployment of your Java apps. And we provide Liberica GTK, which is a runtime recommended by Spring and used by Spring, so kind of a perfect match. And yeah, today we are going to talk about a very fascinating topic and an essential topic, namely the profiling of applications, because of course writing the code is only half the deal, right? After that, after we deploy our code, our application, we have to understand its behavior, how it performs, whether it performs badly or well enough, and if there are any spots that we have to optimize. And profilers help us to do that. And kind of stating the obvious here, but we should profile the application not only on our local machine during development, but also in the environment where the application is going to run. Well, namely the Docker containers, for instance, right? Or Kubernetes. So
It makes
today,
sense.
that makes sense
I
because
understand what you're doing.
because the application may behave differently in a container, right? So we have to be prepared for that. We have to understand exactly how it feels.
Yep.
And so Buildpacks are a very great tool that facilitates building the containers, right? So you don't have to write or maintain lengthy Docker files. You just simply type into one small command
Because
and
friends
here
don't
you go.
let
You
friends
have,
use Docker files.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
just, yeah.
Exactly.
Buildpacks.
Yeah, so with Buildpacks, it's faster, it's always secure, it's always efficient because you always stay on the latest version of the base image for JDK and Linux. So that's great.
Yeah.
And Buildpacks have another fascinating feature is that they enable us to switch on the profiling of the applications. And today, that's what we're going to talk about. So profiling with Buildpacks is not exactly the same as when you deploy your application writing the Docker file. So in a way, it is easier. In a way, it's a little bit it's a little bit different. I wouldn't say more complicated. It's just different. So that's what I'm going to show you today. And we are going to look into two profilers. The Java Flight Recorder, aka JDK Flight Recorder, aka JFR,
All right.
and Async Profiler.
All right. Now,
Yeah.
before we get started, we talked about Docker files. Friends don't let friends use Docker files. Build packs. One of the cool things that I don't mention a lot is that as we're like migrating, a lot of us, unfortunately, are still running Java 8 in production. One benefit of the build packs is I can have the same build pack building my Java 8 applications and my Java 23 applications. I don't have to go and modify. So everything's going to production on the same build pack. The build pack is creating those, and I can switch between the different JVMs. I can also switch between the different profiles. If you're using a Docker file, you're having to add a bunch of switches. If this, then that, change entry points, etc. And change the way that you're pushing code to production. With build packs, that's all included. You get that out of the box and you get to move forward. So that's just another thing that I don't think gets enough credit, especially when we're taking multiple versions of Java to production and then profiling. Right? This is all built in. So this is great.
Yeah. Buildpacks support various LTS versions of JDK and non-LTS versions. So it doesn't matter. You just specify the necessary version. That's it. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Right. So back to profiling. Why did I choose these two profilers? Well, obviously, there are numerous solutions for profiling Java applications. Some of them free and open source. Some of them are commercial with premium licenses, and some of them purely commercial with some free trials. But I'm not going to dive into details here because I think the topic of profilers deserves a separate live stream, separate session. So just a couple of words, right? So JFR is an integral part of OpenJDK. It means that you don't have to download anything, right? So it's already part of your distribution. Just use it as it is. And Java Flight Recorder collects various kinds of events from JVM and records them in the form of binary log files. So, we're going to call them recordings. And then you can process these recordings and define the patterns and to actually understand what they mean with mission control. And JDK mission control is also part of OpenJDK. Essentially it's a graphic user interface. It can also be used as a profiler as it is to monitor the applications at runtime, so in real time. But it's actually a very valuable tool for processing the JFR recording.
Okay.
And yeah, it offers various built-in reports, and you can you can customize those reports with your own filters. And you can also write the custom JFR events to get the exact information that you need. JFR and Java Mission Control use the Java Management Extension or JMX API. And Async Profiler works in a little bit different way. It uses different API. It uses Async Get Call Trace API. And this API enables the profiler to collect the data outside the save points. But this API is internal and not really maintained or developed. So there might be some some variations in the data, or maybe sometimes the recordings might be not as reliable. But that's the same. Well, the same thing is about all profilers. So it's not carved in stone, and depending on the length of profiling or periods of sampling, the data may be different. But yeah, we are straying aside, so let's go back to Buildpacks.
All right.
Right, so we're going to use these two profilers, and let me share my screen, just a sec.
Fantastic. Harpreet asked the question like, hey, can we use Buildpacks in production, or is this just a development thing? It's absolutely for production. Friends, don't let friends use Docker files. Stop using Docker files. Find the Buildpack. You can go to Paketo.io. Bellsoft has Buildpacks. Yeah, there's tons of options. Go take a look.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to bring your screen up here.
Awesome. All right. Okay, so there are several ways of attaching a profiler to the container and of, well, profiling. We're going to start with JFR, and we are going to attach it from the command line after we have built our container with the special options that I'm going to show you, special flags, Buildpack flags. And this will start the container with the JFR enabled already at start, so we can get a very comprehensive picture of our application warming up. And another alternative is to specify the options in the pom.xml if you're using Maven, or in Gradle file if you're using Gradle. All right, let's start with with actually building the image, right? I'm going to show you my pom.xml, and yeah, I'm going to just make it a little bit larger for your convenience. Okay, is that all right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So here I have several options that I have commented out so that you don't have to endure my agonizingly slow typing. So this case, we have simply the configuration without any options, actually. So this one, well, it's not going to work because it's just the delimiter. I'm going to show you what it means later on, but let's just comment it out for sanity's sake. Right. So we are just simply going to build an image without any special configurations, except for well, you can do that without any configurations and run Java Flight Recorder as is, but it is recommended to use 2 JVM flags to make the recordings more precise. And that is unlock diagnostic VM options and debug non-safe points. So yeah, I think I'm just going to, I'm going to need that now. Yeah, so how do we do that? Here's the first catch. When we specify the options for Buildpacks, there is, in the documentation for Buildpacks, there is the Java tool options. We can see part of it here. But somehow it is not read by the plugin when we build the image, so somehow it gets ignored. But Maven plugin offers us another way of specifying JVM options, that is with BPE append tool options. So there are already some options specified in the configuration, Buildpacks configuration. So when you start your image, and I'm going to show you that, some options are already there. They're already by default specified. And that's very convenient. But sometimes you need to override them or add some other options. And here's where BPE append Java tool options comes into play. So we need 2 lines here. First, we are going to set the delimiter, which is going to be space. Right, so when we append our options, the plugin knows that the space signifies that there are 2 different options, and it's not going to glue them together. And here it is. The next one is that we are appending to the default options. We are appending unlock diagnostic VM options and debug non-safe points. As I already mentioned in the beginning, the Async Profiler enables us using the Async API to profile outside the safe points, and we can do the same with the JFR just by enabling this very useful option. So here we go. Okay, and I'm going to build my image.
So we didn't specify a different build pack. We're using the regular upstream.
We are using the regular upstream build pack of Spring. That's it is using library JDK and Ubuntu as a base image. Okay. Right. So you don't have to explicitly include the Java Flight Recorder into your container because it is already part of JRE. So all we need to do is just to switch it on, actually. But it's already there. Right.
Fantastic. This is good,
yeah.
Right? Harpreet's asking like, hey, can I do this? Even Thomas is like, yeah, you don't have to build a Docker file. It's great old W boot build image or MVNW Spring Boot build image. It's easy. Right? It's just one less thing that you should have to worry about. And because we're using Buildpacks, we get all these additional options built in. So we're done. We didn't have to write any additional code to write that build pack. We changed some flags. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and during the previous live stream, somebody asked whether we can disable native memory tracking. So if you watched the previous live stream, you remember that when you run the container, the native memory tracking is enabled by default. And it provides us with a very useful information about the memory that was consumed by the JVM, but native memory tracking can introduce overheads, so we can switch it off if we want to. And there's a special flag, BPL Java NMT enabled. I'm going to show it to you right now. And we are going to set it to true. And this will disable the native memory tracking. Okay. Right. Just a sec. Okay, let me clear my screen. So what do we have here? Oops. BPL Java NMT enabled false, right? So we are disabling native memory tracking. We don't need it now.
Okay.
BPL JFR enabled true. So we are enabling the JFR profiling. And we are setting the BPL JFR arguments. That's, well, actually, that's not necessary. So you can just start the profiler. But here I just wanted to specify the file name. And there are various command line options that you can work with when working with JFR. So I'm going to send a link, a very useful link, to our chat. So Dashon, if you may, could you please just send it to the chat. So here you will find various command line options for tuning the process of profiling with JFR. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, so as you can see, there is no more native memory tracking, so we have disabled it. And we have enabled JFR. So as you can see here, the recording has already started.
Fantastic.
Right? So as simple as that, that's really amazing, and that's why I started with JFR, because when you use Buildpacks, you don't have to tune anything, right? So just one option and that's it. The recording has already started. Let's see. Here are the Java tool options. So as I already mentioned, some of them are specified by default, right? And here are our two options that we appended, right? So debug non-safe points, diagnostic VM options. And here, as we enable JFR, these are our options, arguments, JFR arguments that were picked up, right, when we launched our container. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to enter our container and pick up our file with the recording. So it's there in the container. Right, so how do I name it? Pad JFR. All right. JFR. I'll clean the screen, don't worry. Okay, docker exec it pad JFR bash. So we are entering the container, and there is bash in our container, so we can work with it within the container. So we are in the container, the workspace, that's the default folder, and we are going to set it cd to temporary folder. That's where our recording was placed. And yeah, here it is. As you can see, JFR recording .jfr.
All right.
Right. So
now what?
Now what? Now we need to extract it from the container. So we are exiting the container. And what we need to do is simply copy it to our local machine if you're running it on a local machine, or to the server if you're running it from the server. So that's going to be docker cp, and we need the container ID. So yeah, docker PSA, just let me check. Yeah, here it is. So
wait.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this one, the clean prof. So, and that's bad too far. Docker cp, container ID. And we are entering the container. So here, and we are specifying the path to our recording. That was JFR recording.jfr. And we are copying it to the
I think we want CP.
CP, yeah. Sorry, typo. That happens. Stuff happens. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Okay.
So here it is. Our
Perfect.
where is it? Yeah, JFR recording.jfr. And well, all we have to do, well, if you copied it to the local machine, you can already open it in Java Mission Control. But as I'm working on server, I have one additional step
Okay.
of copying it to my local machine. So
Okay.
here we go. Yeah. Oops. So that was, I hope I copied the name, jfr.recording.jfr, right? So it was that.
I mean, I'm trying to play along, so I'm trying to do the same thing with some sample code over here.
Okay. All right, so I copied it to my file, and now I have to share another screen, I guess, because you're only seeing my terminal, right?
Yep.
How
And
can
the
I
only
do
thing,
that?
we added a couple of flags, but we didn't need to add those flags. We added those flags because we wanted it to be a little bit more accurate, right? But we didn't
Exactly.
need to. We could have just said, hey, buildpack JFR enabled equals true, and
Yeah,
we'd get that file. All right.
and that's it. Yeah, exactly. So all I did was change the name of the file because I wanted to, and I just wanted to show you that you can do that.
All right.
All right, I'll show just the entire screen. Share. Okay. So I have it here, JFR recording.jfr, and we can now open it in Mission Control. So Mission Control, as I already said, Mission Control is part of OpenJDK, but it's not part of the distribution itself. So you have to download it from the vendor that provides it. So for instance, if you use Liberica JDK, you can download Liberica Mission Control. And I'm using it here right now. And let's open the file. Yeah, documents, live stream, recording, and here it is. So our absolutely perfectly valid file with lots of information about our application, what happened there, right? So, and you can browse through different reports, right? And look for the information that is important to you. But we're not going to dive into that, right? So we just wanted to see that everything works, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So that's just stop sharing.
Yep.
And then
I put the link to the Bellsoft version of Liberica Mission Control.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I just
put
wanted
that
to
up. I'm
thank
installing
you.
that myself.
Share screen. And, okay.
There we go.
Right. So that was one way of enabling JFR at runtime. Yeah. And another alternative is to enable it in the configuration file. Right. So let me just stop the container. And as far as I know, there are 40 minutes left. Okay. But JFR, I'm keeping an eye on time so that
Thank you.
can do everything that we planned. JFR, yeah, JFR. All right, let's go back to our pom.xml. I'm always searching by Graal because it's easiest and it's close to the Maven plugin. Okay, let's just comment out this line because we don't need it anymore. In a perfect world, we would specify this JFR enabled option in our pom.xml. However, sadly, the Maven plugin doesn't see it, so it ignores somehow this option when we are building the image. Maybe my theory is that when we specify the BP options, so for example, Java version or JLink, these are the options that are needed at build time, to build the container. And BPL are the options that are needed at launch time. And somehow the Maven plugin ignores them.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I don't know why, actually, and that's a very valid question
Yeah.
to whom I don't know.
We'll have to look into that.
And the same with the native memory tracking. So in a perfect world, we would specify this option in our home.xml. And yeah, it would be disabled. But
One of the
unfortunately,
things
it
I like
doesn't
to do
work.
is like when we have these kind of questions, I want to take a note of it. I want to go read the documentation, see if I can understand why. If the documentation is saying that it should work by configuring it in the pom.xml, then I want to build my test. Say, hey, I expected this to work this way. It didn't. Help me understand why. 'Cause sometimes it's just a question, but maybe there is a bug. So I've got my note. We'll do that
Mm-hmm.
after the stream because we are kind of short on time today. But
Yeah,
this is an important piece. We're in
yeah.
open source. We want to be able to say like, hey, I found this thing, and that's kind of our. I feel like it's an obligation to go and at least raise awareness when I run into something that doesn't make sense.
Exactly. I love that too. And yeah, thank you very much, Dashawn, because yeah, opening the PR or at least well, looking into the issue could help
Yeah.
us build even more convenient software, right? So yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay, but no worries. There is a way to somehow enable GFR in pom.xml. So forget about the BPL GFR enabled. We can append the Java tool options. So here are our unlock diagnostic VM options, debug and save points, and here is start flight recording. Right, so we
Okay.
can enable it simply by specifying additional option. Java option. And yeah, the duration, we're setting it to 15 seconds, but it can be actually, the Java flight recorder can run in the background eternally, kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and it's very convenient it has a very low overhead, and it's very convenient for monitoring the health of your application in real time, right?
All right.
So yeah, we're specifying that, and we're specifying the file name, and it's going to be just simple recording. Okay, and let's build a container. And as we have already built the container the first time with Buildpacks, as you know, Buildpacks use layers, application layers, right? So we are not rebuilding the whole image. Yeah, we are just rebuilding the layers that were updated.
Fantastic.
It's going to be faster. Yeah, love that. And I love that it's very convenient. So there are four default layers provided by Spring. So dependencies, snapshot dependencies, launcher, and application. But you can write your own custom layers actually if you need that. So you can
Yes,
use
you
the
can.
default settings, yeah,
Yep.
but if you need something more, you
Yep.
can, well,
And if you're,
just that.
this idea of, oh, hey, I've got hundreds of apps running across production, and one option is I could write a Docker file for each one of those. The other option is I could write a build pack that has that custom layer, that custom feature that we do for all of our applications. You could write it once in a build pack, and you can apply that build pack to everybody.
Exactly,
This is just
exactly.
another benefit, another reason why you should use build packs and not Docker files.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to write an article on writing custom layers with the Spring Boot because I think it's a very important topic. And yeah, I hope we have time today to explain why exactly it's important.
All
There's
right.
another reason for that. Okay, so as we enable GFR in our pom.xml, we are simply running our container as is without any options.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. And as you can see, the recording has started again. Yeah, so everything's successful, right? So the GFR was enabled.
All right.
Yeah.
And it said it was only going to record for 15 seconds. Are we going to see an output when it's done?
Well, it's not
Maybe.
actually
Maybe
showing
not.
that. Async Profiler does show that. So when it's
Okay.
done, it just types it's done.
Right on.
But JFR doesn't. So
Okay.
it creates the file somewhere silently in the background. Okay. So the 15 seconds are off, right? I'm not kind of should
Yep.
have set the timer or something.
Yep.
All right. Okay. And as you can see, we didn't disable native memory tracking. So here we have it.
Okay.
Yeah, the information. All right, so let's check if our file was created, we are not going to copy it again, right? Because, well, we are running out of time, and that's the same process, and that's
Okay.
just going to be kind of the same file by GFR, right? Okay. Docker start bed GFR. Docker yes a. No, I don't need that right actually. Okay. Docker check GFR. Bash workspace cd tmp ls, and here it is, our recording. So yeah, after that the process is the same. So you're copying the file somewhere where you see fit. Okay, that's it. Another useful thing that I wanted to show you, just a second, I'm going to stop the container because we don't need it anymore, is how to enable the real-time monitoring through Java Mission Control. And we can do that as well with Buildpacks. So
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's lovely. GFR. Okay. Right. Okay. So the process is kind of the same. We are not enabling anything in the configuration file. We are going to enable the JMX, so Java Management Extension API, through the runtime options. And the only thing we need to do is to specify the port for JMX, and this port is going to be used by Java Mission Control to actually find the process that we are running, and well, show the information about that. So,
Liberica's Mission Control is not signed by somebody that Apple knows. I gotta skip over that.
Yeah, so Apple sometimes does that.
I trust it. I'm gonna open it anyways.
Yeah, I'm opening, I'm using it, and nobody's gonna get hurt. Yeah, but yeah, sometimes Apple does that, and
sometimes
that's okay.
I've done that more than once.
Yeah. All right. So we are running our container, and we have here two options. BPL gmix enabled. You're setting that to true. And actually, you can leave it as that. The port is going to be provided by default. But there is another option that enables you to specify the port. And that's what I'm going to show you as well. So BPL gmix port. And I'm setting it to 5001. Again, you don't have to do that, right? But if you want to, you can. And yeah, so we are specifying the port for our application to run, and we are specifying the port for JMX. Okay, and yeah, but I already have this container somehow. Okay, just let's rerun it. Yep. So as you can see, JMX is enabled on port 5001, right? So success. And yeah, the application is starting agonizingly slowly in 12 seconds. That's not the fault of JMX, don't worry. That's just something happening on my computer. Okay. Something somewhere in the background. Okay, so
live stream. That takes.
Yeah, that's okay. That's totally okay. Right, so you're going to Mission Control, to my case, Liberica Mission Control. And to set up the remote connection, you're just setting up the new connection. And I'm running it now on localhost, not on the server. And the port is 5001. Right, and you're just setting the finish, and this port is going to be enabled. But I already configured it before, so here it is. And yeah, I'm just setting the ambient server, and voila, that's the real-time data.
Oh wait, I don't see it. I only see your terminal.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. Gosh, I forgot. Okay, I'm just going to stop that and show it to you again. Just let me share my screen. Silly of me. See, that's what I was talking about. I have too many tabs open.
That's
and
okay.
I just
That's okay.
Monitor everything. That is okay. Stopping it here and then sharing the screen. Okay, entire screen. share. Okay, so again, we enabled JMix successfully. The application is running, and we're going to library permission control. And we want to set a remote connection. So you click on remote connection. I'm running it from localhost. So the host is going to be localhost.
Right.
If you're running it from another host, then you're just setting the IP address. And the port, we specified 5001. And that's what we're going to do. And then you click on finish, and then this remote connection is going to appear. But I already set it up. So here it is, localhost 501. And I'm
Fantastic.
just launching the MVN server. And here it is, the real-time data on our application, running application. The Java heap memory, CPU usage.
So what would have been fun for us, in our previous streams when we're going through and doing all these optimizations, it would have been fun. So we might have to go back. It would be fun to have the different versions, the JLink version, the native, well, not the native image, but all the other different versions, the AOT, the CDS, and have them side by side and show the nice, pretty graphs of them running. So this is great. I like this.
Well, actually, we can do native image too, because JFR, is supported in native image, so it's totally possible.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we can do the JFR, and we can set up the JMX ports too?
Yeah. So you can set up both of them. So the JFR is going to run in the background and it's going to collect the data, which it is then going to present to you as the log file, right? So that you can analyze it post-mortem, so to say. And JMX, it can simply show you the real state of the application, real time. Yeah.
Fantastic. This
So
is great.
it's kind of,
we got all sorts of fun stuff to look into here. The other piece here is I'm on a thread with somebody else where it's like, hey, I have unexpected behavior. Something happens. And a lot of times as a developer, I kind of first let me go look at the logs. But this is a tool that's available to us, and I don't think that it gets used enough. I guess maybe it's because I haven't reached for it enough. Maybe it's just me. But this is a tool that's available that every Java developer should know about and understand, that we have more tools to go in and investigate than just our logs. So this is fun. We got lots of cool stuff to go.
Yeah. Okay, so that was about JFR and Java Mesh Control. Another point of interest is that with the Java Mission Control, with JMX, it's easy to enable it when you're running the application on localhost. But truth to be told, and just let me share my screen again, there is a catch, one more catch with that, but I think it's possible to work it out somehow. Okay, so what I'm talking about. When you specify JMX enabled, these 4 options are set by default.
Okay.
Which is great because you don't have to set them manually.
Okay.
Otherwise, without Buildpacks, you would have to do that. And that's the host name, and 3 more options, including the port, which we can override, as I already showed to you. But the problem is with the host name, because there is no separate option for overriding the host name.
Okay.
And so even if we append the Java tools options, they are not going to be noticed by the Maven plugin. Okay. So I think one way of doing that is through SSH, right? So okay. Without actually trying to set up with Buildpacks.
Okay.
And maybe another way is to specify the whole bunch of these options and plus another one RMI server enabled here. Maybe that's going to work. But okay. Again, it's a little bit inconvenient. So okay. If there was an option like setting the host name, overriding the host name.
So we've got some homework.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. We have some homework.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Right. That's okay. I mean, we are improving ourselves, right?
Yes.
With every release, with every month, we are just adding some value to our product, right? That's the whole point. Okay, so stop sharing, and we have 20 minutes left, and we are moving to Async Profiler.
Okay. What's the
Yeah.
difference?
The difference is that JFR is supported by Buildpacks by default. So you have these lovely options. So you're just clicking one, well, you're setting one option and that's it. The JFR is enabled and everything's running. With other profilers, that's not that simple, right? It's a little bit different. The process is a little bit different.
Okay.
And to attach a different profiler, regardless of whether it is Async Profiler, New Relic, Datadog, whatever, you have to attach it as a Java agent to the
Okay.
running JVM process. And it can be done in 3 ways, actually. And I'm going to show you 2 today.
Okay.
So one way is to profile from the host, which is the simplest one.
Okay.
You're running the application, then you are attaching to it from the host and starting the profiling session. Another way is to create a sidecar with a profiler.
Okay.
And there's going to be the sidecar container, and it's going to attach to the running container, and we'll start the profiling.
Okay.
And the third way is to include the profiler as a file into our image, right? And with Buildpacks, that's a little bit tricky. And that's where these custom layers come into play, and that's why it's important. So when the Spring Boot builds the application, the image, with the layered application, there are 4 layers by default.
Yep.
And if it thinks that some files are just lying around and they don't belong to any of these layers, they are not included into the final image, which can be cumbersome, but not if we specify our own layer. Then in this layer, we can add configuration files, the Java profiler, and well, whatever we see necessary. And another good thing about that is that this layer, we're going to put it on the bottom, and it's not going to be updated. We don't have to update it, and we don't have to every time add the profiler or the config files. It's just going to be there, and that's just beautiful.
That is beautiful. That makes a lot of sense. I like that.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going to write this article, and I hope I'll manage to do that. Okay, so Async Profiler. Let's start with mounting the profiler into the image. So as I already said, we can't simply add some additional files into our image. The Buildpacks won't tolerate that.
Okay.
So what we can do is, let me show you. There's a trick, and it's really easy actually, and it's perfectly legitimate. All right, so let me just, we are going to build an image without a profiler, without anything, right? And then after we have built the image, we are going to mount the agent, the profiler, into it. So attach it. Well, after we already have built the image. What we need now is to specify the agent path. So when you profile the application with the Java agent, Async Profiler or any other profiler, you have this option, agent path or Java agent. They're actually kind of similar. And you are specifying the path to the profiler, right? Mm-hmm. So in our case, it's libasyncprofiler.so. That's the build for Linux. And you're specifying the necessary options. So you're starting the profiler. In case of Async Profiler, you are specifying the event that you want to profile. In this case, we are specifying CPU. We want data about CPU usage. And then you are specifying the name of the file and where it's going to reside in case of our container. And Async Profiler can create flame graphs in the form of HTML files, or it can also create JFR files that we can then further analyze in Java Mission Control, for example.
In this profiler, this is not a vendor-specific thing. right? So the
What do you mean?
profiler that we're going to add here, where are we getting this from?
Yeah, just a sec. Again, stop sharing, share the screen. Yeah, I'm going to. Oh, let me just send you the link,
There you
and
go.
yeah, you can just put it into the chat. Silly me, I forgot I wanted to show it to you before. So yeah, here it is. The Async Profiler is, as I already said, it's open source, totally open source. It's on GitHub. You can find it on GitHub.
Okay.
Get it there. There's the documentation and well, ways of working with the profiler and what it can do. Right. So what I did is I downloaded the file, the profiler onto my server. Async Profiler is supported on Linux and Mac OS, so not on Windows, which is, well, in this case, totally fine because we are working on a server. And then, so yeah, I download this file onto the server. And am I sharing the screen?
Nope, you're not right now. And while you do that, I'll say that, hey, Mohammed Sharifi, I hope I'm saying it right, says, I really like this series of streams. I hope the next one to be on custom build packs, which I think that lines up great. I think what we were planning on doing next, while you share the screen, I think what we were planning on doing next is kind of showing some of these other profilers. But we also did talk about building kind of a custom layer build pack. So we got some options. So Mohammed, thank you for your feedback. And
thank you so much.
We plan on we're gonna keep on doing this. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, lots of great stuff is coming up. Stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned.
All right.
Tell your friends.
Yeah. All right. So we are specifying the path to the agent. Right now, there is no profiler in our image, but that's okay because it's going to be there after we mount it.
Okay.
And this is going to be the path. So workspace is the default folder in the container image built by Buildpacks, and it's going to be placed there, profiler, and well, that's it. Okay, so here we go.
So you just gave me a clue. You said after we mount it, so we're gonna download that file and then we're gonna mount it to the running buildpack, just like we do mount files to containers normally. That makes a lot of sense. So it doesn't have to be. We don't have to go down the custom layer path. We can, but yeah, this is another option. Especially when we're going to production, we're probably going to want to make that custom layer instead of mounting to files somewhere in some file system somewhere in production.
Yeah, so mounting the files in production, that's not really recommended.
Yeah, most platforms aren't going to allow you to do that. Just mount files.
Yeah. So I'm just showing that it's an option.
It's an option. For what we're doing here, it works out great.
Yeah, for test purposes, that's perfectly okay. Right. Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the best practice is to actually create those sidecar containers.
Sidecar, is it? Yeah, we have options that we need to explore. I mean, our audience demands it. They want to understand this. But this is important stuff.
Yeah, it's very important. And Buildpacks are, I think they are used much more widely right now in production. So it's important to understand what they are capable of.
Absolutely.
And understanding how to work with them. That's what we are doing right now. Okay, so we have created our image, and now we are mounting our profiler.
Okay.
So with Docker run, we are launching it at the same time. So after we mount it, just after that, with Docker run v, and this is the path to the profiler that I already downloaded, and this is the path that is going to be copied to in our container image. And we are specifying the port. Again, nothing special, nothing fancy. But another valuable thing that I wanted to show you is that when you're mounting the profiler or when you're profiling from host, you need this option, capability add sysadmin.
Okay.
Yeah, because the container won't just let you in, kind of like that. Metaphorically speaking.
Why did our port change from 8080 to 8082?
It has always been there, 8082. So that's perfectly okay. It's just that other ports on my server are busy.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, but the port actually doesn't matter. Absolutely doesn't matter. It can be anything.
Got it.
Okay. Right. And as you can see, profiling has started.
Fantastic.
So we have been able to mount the profiler successfully. So and it has started. In this case, the file is going to again be created in the container, right? To restart the application. So let's see. I hope 15 seconds have passed.
We'll have some data. And the cool thing here is there's a difference. So this async profiler, again, we're doing it as an agent. So it's attaching itself to the JVM. Different files, JFR is included. What are the benefits? I know one, because I'm reading the link that we posted. It's like, hey, it's not going to suffer from the safe point bias problem. This sounds bad. So our profiling is gonna give us some differences, right? It's gonna give us a different view, and that's good, right?
Yeah, so different profilers have their strength and the ways they function. So as I already mentioned, JFR works with JMX API, and Async Profiler uses another API. And yes, it profiles outside the safe point. So the safe point is when the state of all threads, of running threads, is known, right? So we know where each thread is and what it is doing. And safe point bias means that if the profiler only looks at these points, it may some important information outside the safe points may escape it, right?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So as you can see here, again, our option was caught, right? And you can see the agent path, right? So the agent was attached, yeah, so we're profiling. And let's check our container. I forgot again how we named it. All right, so pet, simply pet, okay. Docker start pet, and we're going to pick inside the container. Pet bash. Okay, we are in the workspace, and let me just show you that yes, we attached the profiler, and here it is. Fantastic. In our container. Yeah, it's here. And yes, so let's just go to the folder. And here it is, our file.
Wonderful.
It was successfully created.
And now that I look at this, the flame graph, this is the kind of profiling that when I go to conferences, this is actually what I see most often. Is this type of profiling. So now for me, it's connecting all the dots. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. This is great. I feel like now I'm sitting at the table with the cool kids. So this is fun.
Yeah, and by the way, IntelliJ IDEA Profiler uses under the hood Async Profiler.
Fantastic.
So yeah, and you can get flame graphs in IntelliJ IDEA in your IDE without leaving it, which is kind of cool.
All right.
Right. So that was mounting. The process of mounting the profiler into the container. And the last thing I'm going to show it to you is how to profile from the host. So let me just stop the container. Stop pet.
When am I going to be doing profiling from the host? If I'm thinking, I don't know if there's ever going to be a time, if I'm in production, that I'm ever going to be doing this approach.
Well, it can be done during the testing. So if you don't want to add the profiler to your image, right? So you can just quickly connect to the container and see what's happening.
Yeah, it's good to understand the options.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So.
See, I think you have a cat, right?
Me?
Yeah?
Why do you think so?
Is there a puppy? Or is that just my stomach?
Oh, yeah, it's a puppy.
The puppy. So, like, this whole time, like, I know that my stomach is grumbling a little because I haven't had breakfast. I'm just having a soda. And I think sometimes that I'm hearing your puppy and sometimes I'm hearing my stomach. So it was just me. Just me clarifying, like, wait, that can't be my stomach. So we're in good shape. It's all good here.
God, I'm so sorry. That's just I was explaining to Dashan earlier because that's my new microphone, and I'm still not quite aware of its capabilities. And now I know that it can catch
Yes.
the grumbling noise.
And
from
my
our-
microphone catches my tummy.
God, well, that's the problem of good microphones, right? They
Yes.
catch all the sounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, one more thing. So to profile from host, we don't actually need anything, but it is recommended when you are using Async Profiler to actually enable the same options that we enabled with GFR, namely the unlock diagnostic options and debug non-safe points. So the recording is going to be more precise.
Okay, but we don't have to. So
We don't have
can
to.
go.
No,
All right, yeah.
we can just do without that. We don't have to do that. It's totally optional. And the last time, right, we are building the container. Okay. So to profile from host, we need the only thing we need to do is to specify the path to our profile. So the JVM in the container needs to be aware of the full path to the profiler that's going to profile it.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's the only thing that we need to actually specify. And our container is still in the process. The server is slow today. I don't know why. Stuff happens. Yeah, that's okay. Well, the colleagues are working there too, so maybe they're doing something expensive, kind of expensive work. All right. So the container is ready, and we are going to use the same command with docker run v, but it's not copying the profiler, it's just showing the path to the profiler.
Okay.
So no profiler is going to end up in the container, don't worry. And yeah, we need this sysadmin option, as I already mentioned. Okay, so everything's fine, so we are running the container in detached mode. All right. And to profile from host, you need to know the PID of the process, personal identifier. So we can do that with docker top pathprof. So that's it. And yeah, we are going to launch the profiler. Okay. Yeah, so it needs sudo, right? So it's going to privilege access, and I'm showing the path to the profiler as prof, and I'm specifying that we want to profile CPU, the duration 15 seconds, and the file is going to be called CPU profile.html, and I'm specifying the PID of the process, and that's essentially it. And the file is going to be saved in the container.
Got it.
Okay, so here you can see that it's profiling, right?
So even though I'm running from host, the actual file is going to be inside the container.
Yeah, it's going to be inside the container. Yeah. Right. Okay, done. As you can see, so it has the courtesy of doing that. And we have 1 more minute to actually peek into our container and see if the file is there.
This makes sense.
Right. Okay, and TMP. Yes, here it is, the CPU profile file. Well, that's it actually. That's all I wanted to show you today.
That is fantastic. This is great.
Yeah.
Kat, I feel like we're doing something special here. I think at least I'm learning. This is fun, and you're doing all the hard work. So thank you for that. And yeah, we're getting great questions, good feedback. So
yeah,
can we do it again?
Great. Yeah, sure. Let me just share the one more last link. If our audience wants to get familiar with the JDK flight recorder, our team has written lots of guides and tutorials on JFR.
Fantastic.
and mission control. Yeah, and so that's the link to the first article, and to the others you can find in the sidebar. Yeah, but we're definitely doing that again. So we have lots of topics to cover, right? So profilers, load testing, garbage collectors, you name it. So much to do.
All good stuff. And I feel like we're like getting through these, getting like deep enough where it's valuable. It's not the stuff that, it's not stuff that I've known all the time. So I feel like I'm getting more tools in my tool belt, and I feel like the audience is too. So yeah, let's keep it going. This is fun. I feel like at the end of this year, our audience is going to be using less Docker files, and they're going to be using more Buildpacks.
Hopefully.
And they're going to understand that they've got more tools, more ways of optimizing these Buildpacks than they had with Docker files. So
exactly.
This is great.
Yeah. It's going to be fabulous.
Kat, thanks again. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, until next time, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye.